Hello, everyone. This is Group D's case analysis to Dove, the evolution of a brand. Members of this group include me, John Fortunato, Zore Brennan, Lisa James, Akil King, Michael McCartan, and Eddie Torres. Several years after Dove launched the campaign, marketers and professionals alike were trying to make sense of the strategy that the Dove team used. The campaign was called an unqualified success, and there's no hard evidence to support or give credit of how much growth of the new personal care categories could be attributed to the campaign for real beauty. Hindsight being 2020, we can all say that the campaign was a success and cite numerous articles and statistics to support that fact. But instead, we challenged ourselves as a group to take a closer look and use a behind the scenes type of approach to critique the strategy proposed by the Dove team at that time, evaluate the risk associated with it, determine if we as a group would use that strategy ourselves, and then attempt to answer the question whether or not the campaign was an unqualified success or a success based on the brilliant insight of the Dove brand team. This slide highlights the elements of the campaign that were important to us in our analysis and reaching the conclusion that we did. Here we highlight the master brand campaign strategy, risk, and data, the shift in marketing strategy the Dove team invoked, the advertisements and PR success realized as a result of the campaign, and we included a slide on the future of Dove of what our next steps would be based on the strategy proposed. Before we answer the question of whether or not the strategy was successful and state our conclusions, let's take a closer look at the campaign. The Master Brand campaign was a brazen move on the Dove team's part, in our opinion. They defied the typical marketing rules or policies that invited high risk that could have been very costly to Unilever. Their strategy included extending the Dove brand across several categories of personal care merchandise. They ignored promoting the functionality of the product. They used ordinary people in supermodel context. And what we perceived to be the most riskiest was uploading a 75-second film to YouTube. This strategy was unconventional in every sense of the word, and it carried high risk because if it failed, it wasn't just one product that would suffer. It was categories of products that would suffer that could cost the company millions, if not billions, in lost revenue and profit. Although the survey provided valuable insight to the brand team, there was nothing conclusive about it. Group D concludes that the campaign was successful based on the brilliant insight of the Dove brand team, and we would have invoked the same strategy they did back then. We based that on the fact that the campaign elicited dialogue on internet blogs and chat rooms, and the film that was uploaded to YouTube produced 3 million hits in the first couple of months. It's hard to believe that Unilever would be successful with Dove today if that campaign had failed. The question that remains is whether or not the personal care categories benefited from it. There's no hard and fast facts to prove that one way or the other, but we believe it did, and we support that with the following. In 2004, the Dove brand was worth $2.5 billion. In 2014, it was worth $4 billion. The film that was uploaded to YouTube cost the advertising agency $135,000 to produce. Today, that same film is estimated to be worth $135 to $150 million. We believe that the personal categories did benefit from it based on that.
Weighing the risk. Dove fully supported the purpose of his campaign for real beauty, but being as out of the ordinary as this decision was, the campaign attracted both positive and negative attention. While Dove focused on attaining direct feedback from consumers regarding their thoughts on true beauty and aimed to eliminate stereotypical advertised images of what a beautiful woman was, opposers were also given an opportunity to input their opinions as well. Dove's campaign definitely worked at encouraging and building a bond with customers, but simultaneously left the company extremely vulnerable to negative publicity. Shift in market strategy. Dove historically has always projected a brand that is authentic and honest, and always true to its moisturizing roots. In the 50s, they focused on being an anti-soap with a quarter of cleansing cream. The 70s, anti-aging, massaging, and relying facts with staying true to its roots. The 90s, the litmus test, and the 2000s, the campaign for real beauty. The shift for Dove's campaign from traditional channels and pure products focus to which is formally rooted in UGC, digital video, and viral buzz, something that is much harder to manage and even less to control. Championing an open dialogue. Unilever left Dove Masterbrand open for criticism by marketing to an open dialogue instead of marketing to sell a brand. It was a risky move for the company since they were going against the traditional beliefs that the beauty industry held. They were, in a sense, exposing the myths that their own industry had led customers to believe for decades. But it paid off. Dove used avenues that were relevant today, such as viral marketing, to start a conversation on beauty. Having such an open conversation led to both positive and negative feedback, but it got people talking. In some cases, they made consumers uncomfortable, but overall, they started to make them think and question the ideas of beauty that society held. Now, they can continue to take the success of this campaign, shift the focus back to Dove, which helps consumers achieve real beauty. A real PR success. Stacy Bright, Unilever's senior communications marketing manager, and Edelman, Dove brand's public relations agency, proved in many aspects the evolution of the way the world was communicating. They embraced the controversy that accompanied the campaign and allowed the engagement of debate. It was evident that when the media was covering the campaign, the team's goals were coming to fruition. It's also evident in the fact that over a decade later, this campaign still hasn't lost its steam. This further is evidence that the risk was worth taking, and now it's time to build off this publicity and bring attention back to the brand.
During the course of developing the Real Women campaign, Dove realized that they need to not just address the social beauty issues affecting women, but also girls, which led to the Self-Esteem Project, a resource designed to provide information on how to address self-esteem issues with young women, and advertising the fact that they, Unilever, would donate money to this cause with product sales. Sharon McLeod, VP of Unilever North America, Personal Care, told HuffPo, "We can't just be getting people stirred up. Awareness and conversation isn't enough. We actually have to do something to change what's happening. From a marketing standpoint, this makes sense, but this is Unilever, a huge conglomerate. Therefore, it could appear to many as a move designed to drive product sales. It is, by no doubt, a successful promotional vehicle that tapped into millennials' desire for using brands that had a charitable angle, such as Tom's, 7th Generation, etc. Therefore, even though Dove ran the risk of appearing self-serving, and it feels as if it was a little bit, it ultimately paid off, because the Real Women campaign was well received socially. So, what does that mean for the future evolution of Dove? Dove's focus became not about women feeling more beautiful, but about more women feeling beautiful. For decades, they focused on functionality, superiority, and now they were focusing on a viewpoint. The Dove Real Beauty campaign has aged beautifully, no pun intended, but what should Dove do next? We believe they have a few options on which next steps to take. Option 1, they can continue the Real Beauty campaign as they have for over a decade. Option 2, they can go back to the roots of what made Dove a success, which is focus on functionality compared to other brands. Option 3, they can do a combination of the first two options and continue their focus on real beauty, but emphasize product placement more and how Dove compares to competitor products. Or option 4, they can completely change direction and choose a new stance and campaign focus. We believe that option 3 would be the best route. Dove should continue on the risk that they took with the Dove Real Beauty campaign, but integrate their product functionalities more into the advertising. So, in conclusion, and as you can see from hindsight, the campaign has paid off tremendously, contributing $1.2 billion in organic growth. It's not quite clear how much can be attributed to the campaign, or has the campaign backfired? Would Dove still have grown by as much? And if Dove had taken a celebrity endorsement approach, something which they have also not done historically, would they have grown by as much, or more? We just will never know. One thing we can agree on is that the campaign has built on itself, and other companies have also been jumping on the bandwagon. Hence, the campaign has had a positive effect on not just the Dove brand, but in society in general, and established itself as a successful example of cause marketing in the past decade. Well, thank you so much for watching, and please do feel free to reach out to us with any questions. Thanks. Bye.